Let's take a look at the Scottish Formula Ford Championship in association with Rees Motorsport Insurance. We've got the National Formula Fords here with us as well, and the David Leslie Trophy up for grabs in race number 2.
Welcome to the BRSCC Avon National Formula Fords at Knockhill Racing Circuit with the Scottish Formula Ford Championship joining in as well. And Alex Walker is on pole position in his Spectrum from Chris Middlehurst in the Van Diemen. Jordan Dempsey and Thomas Mills make row 2 up with Lucas Romanek and Jamie Sharp down in 5th and 6th place. A packed grid of National Formula Fords at Knockhill Racing Circuit. And as ever, this will be a classic race. Lovely dry conditions here at Knockhill Racing Circuit for all the drivers to get their teeth into. And if you've never seen Formula Ford racing at Knockhill, well, you might want to strap yourself into your seat and get ready for some classic racing. Cars lining up on the grid, the staggered grid that Formula Ford single-seaters have here at Knockhill. And keep your eyes on the top left of the screen. There goes the 5-second board, then the lights will appear on the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge and also on the gantry. Oh, there's a little bit of creeping there. That's not the best thing to be doing as they make their way down towards first corner. And that was Jordan Dempsey who we saw just rolling forward there as everybody makes their way down towards Duffy's Dip for the first time of asking. And it looks like it's Middlehurst who's going to hold the lead in the Van Diemen, or take the lead, sorry, from young Alex Walker in the Kevin Mills run Spectrum for the first time of asking. Let's hope everybody keeps all the wheels intact and gets through. McIntyre's already the leaders, jumping over the top of the chicane and charge up the back straight towards Clark Corner. It's a fast, frantic lap here at Knockhill as we go on board with Jordan Gronkowski. A little bit of corrective oversteer as the rear tries to rotate round through the entrance to the corner. But we head round towards the hairpin. Great onboard footage, and already Middlehurst under pressure from 41 Alex Walker as they come through the hairpin. The Van Diemen of Chris Middlehurst. Not a lot of Van Diemens in the race. We have 4 or 5 of them, but it used to be a Van Diemen. Van Diemen used to be the car you wanted to have. They was kind of going to the Ray chassis as they go 3 wide in towards Duffy's Dip. Hold on to your hat here as everybody tries to get through in one piece. Almost down the escape road, but not to be as they manage to make their way down and through McIntyre's fabulous driving. Jamie Sharp, the red car on the outside, who looked like he was going to have to go down the escape road, but he managed to pull that back. And there's a nose box off. Very early in the race to lose your nose box. And that is going to hurt. And somebody else spins at the background. There's almost contact. There is contact at Clark Corner, right in front of Jordan Gronkowski there. And that was a bit of a disaster. Everything going wrong all at once. That could have been Lucas Romanek involved in that. We'll have to come back on that one, and hopefully we could maybe get a replay in that, but it all went horribly wrong there. Max Esterton going through as well in the Ray, number 42. Keeping his nose clean. That's really what you've got to do in Formula Ford racing. It's so frantic at the beginning, but you can lose so much, as we have just seen. And losing nose boxes and wheels and various other pieces of equipment really make it very difficult for you. As we go through there, that's Thomas Mills, car 21, and in the gravel at the exit of the chicane, car 33 there. That's Benjamin Cochrane. That is definitely going to be a safety car. That is one of the most horriblest places you could land in a car and just sit there. You're only a couple of feet off the track, and then you get to Clark Corner and there's several small species of Spectrum lying about the track. That looks like the nose box. That would be from Lucas Romanek. So yeah, Benjamin Cochrane, Lucas Romanek out of the race just now. Not good for those guys. Safety car is on track. As you can see, we've been neutralised here. And it's Chris Middlehurst who brings the cars up towards the back of the Honda Civic Type R, driven by Alan Barron, our safety car man. He seems to do a lot of laps at race weekends, Alan Barron. Seasoned pro when it comes to racing himself, and doing as much laps in the safety car now as he used to do in his race car. So here we go, the safety car lights are off. We pull that down the top of the tri-oval, and the spectators wait for the lights, or wait for the cars to go. The safety car boards will stay out until they get to the top of the hill. Then there'll be a green flag showing. Nobody can pass Chris Middlehurst until the green flag, and let's watch for the gap. Some cars just sleeping a little bit at the restart here. You want to be underneath that LD 200 gearbox off the car in front. Look at the top 3 glued together as they go underneath the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge and head towards Duffy's Dip. Jordan Gronkowski there looked like popping out from the slipstream to try and have a way past. That's Jamie Sharp, number 89, who we've seen racing in Formula Ford in previous years. Formula 4, sorry. He's now in Formula Ford. And also Michael Gray very much in the running order of this just now, car number 19. This could be a one-off race for Mikey. There he goes there. White car, black nose box. Neil Broom slithers up the inside at Clark Corner as well, local hero. But back at the hairpin, it's Middlehurst in that white Van Diemen with the yellowy orange flashes, sorry, not yellow, the orange flashes down the side of it, under increasing pressure from Alex Walker here. We've got to say Walker really giving him a hard time all the way through this race. And how much pressure can Middlehurst take? Or is it going to go horribly wrong for him and get done by young Alex Walker, who was incredibly fast in qualifying? We've got to say the qualifying times that these cars were putting in was eye-watering. But just look at the front, Middlehurst through the chicane. The Van Diemen does have a slightly different line through the chicane than the Spectrum, which Walker is in. So it'll be interesting to see how the tyres hold up through this race as well. It's quite a long race at Knockhill, and it's quite warm for temperature just now. But into the hairpin, Middlehurst positions himself on the middle of the road, or in the middle of the road, just to cover any move that Walker was having. And then there's a bit of a gap back as well, and that's quite a good handy thing to have. The gap back means that Walker doesn't need to be driving in his mirrors. He can really focus on what's happening up the road ahead of him. Past the start line they go, past the finish line as well. The finish line here at Knockhill, remember, it's at the pit entrance. The start line is over the crest of the hill, so they're in different places as Jamie Sharp sideways over the top of Duffus, pressurising all the way down the hill. Michael Gray's lost a position here. That looks like Drew Stewart's got past Michael Gray. And Drew Stewart, who we know from Formula Ford Z-Tech days when he raced on Max Track. And there's a couple of wheels in the gravel at the exit of the chicane. And that is ultimately going to hurt your drive all the way at the back straight. Who was that? Was that Thomas Mills? And now Jamie Sharp has a shot of that at Clark Corner. So these young guys really flirting with the edge of grip as Walker looks at the inside of Middlehurst. Middlehurst says no. Walker doesn't want to remove the nose box. And yes, it's Jordan Dempsey involved in that, the hairpin, and also Thomas Mills just getting shuffled to the back of that pack now as they go past the line. And look at the gap at the front now. After that little bit of a look at the hairpin, it just cost Alex Walker half a second on Middlehurst as they go down and in towards the twisty part of the circuit. Jamie Sharp locks up a wheel going into McIntyre's. That lets Esserton get right on the back gearbox of that number 89 car. The Jamie Sharp Medina Run GL17, which is effectively a Van Diemen, badged under John Lobel's name. As they go up the back straight, Walker sideways over the apex of Clark's, and that's easily done because you turn them with a lot of grip there. The car gets to the crest of the hill and all the grip wants to jump out from underneath you, and it's so tempting to get on the power just a little bit too hard, a little bit too soon, and that makes the car go sideways. It does ultimately hurt you towards the hairpin. Having said that, look at that, car's in the air, airborne through the gravel trap, and then forces another car towards the inside. It's getting a little bit close for comfort here as we see going past and on the grass up the main straight. Dear oh dear, that is not a place where you want to be. Now, was that Jordan Dempsey who was in the gravel at the exit off the hairpin? Very difficult to see from our angle, so Jordan, if it wasn't you, very sorry. But things getting a little bit, shall we say, fruity down there. Let's restock and regroup, because back at the front is still the same too. And then Jamie Sharp's got himself in a nice bit of no man's land, which he'll be happy with. And then we've got behind him Max Easterton, and everybody else chases round towards the hairpin. So at the front, no, Middlehurst has now got Walker issues once again. Alex Walker not wanting to give Chris Middlehurst any room whatsoever as they go past and underneath the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge to chalk off another lap here at Knockhill. And that's Easterton coming under pressure now for his position. Jamie Sharp goes over the top. Then we've got Easterton sideways over the top of Duffus Dip there, really having to push this car for all he's worth because Jordan Dempsey is very much incoming. Glenn Alcott goes through the chicane, about to go a lap down, stays well out the way. Good driving from Glenn as Dempsey into the gravel trap, and that's going to hurt him. That's going to hurt Dempsey all the way up the back straight. And watch for a manoeuvre on the entrance to Clark's. Easterton comes through. Oh, sideways over the crest of Clark's and into the gravel trap. for what looked like, I'm going to say, Thomas Mills again. Having a lot of sideways moments here is young Thomas, driving incredibly hard. The problem with these Kevin Mills run Spectrums, they all look so similar. They've all almost got the same numbers as well when it comes to it. 41 for Walker, 21 for Mills. Very difficult. In towards Duffy's Dip though. No way do we get the car at the front mixed up. Very easy to distinguish that Van Diemen of Chris Middlehurst. The white car with the orange flashes, car number 87. There goes Easterton through the corner. Jordan Gronkowski with a fabulous showing right now for the Scottish home crowd. Car number 1, Jordan Gronkowski, ahead of Jordan Dempsey. There we go through the chicane. Jordan Gronkowski, that is. Remember, in a Van Diemen as well. There goes Esterton, through Clark's. Then we've got Mills, and oh, somebody else running wide into the gravel trap, but managing to just hold that. As we look back towards the hairpin, the leaders have gone through. There's third place man, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, and yeah, Jamie Sharp now has lost that position as well. So Jamie Sharp just going backwards in the pack here as we go in towards Duffy's Dip. Look how close this is with these two at the front. Pressure all the way from Alex Walker onto the back of Chris Middlehurst. If Chris Middlehurst can hold this, it will be very impressive. He definitely has the speed through the twisty back part of the circuit, but it looks like the Spectrum of Alex Walker just has the hairpin area sorted out that little bit better. But as we run round towards the hairpin now, it's a very lonely drive in third place for Maxwell Esterton, and Max will be happy about that after being involved in all sorts of shenanigans earlier on in the race. The young American, there's a song in here somewhere, the young American coming through, and there's a dive bomb at the hairpin, and it's a sideways through the corner, and Jamie Sharp tries to go back underneath, tries he may, it's not happening. The driver warning, no it's not, that's the meat ball flag as they call it, isn't it? That means report to the pits next time round. There's something mechanically wrong with your car. I can't see the number of that, but up the inside, change of leader McIntyre's. Walker goes through. It's a good clean manoeuvre from Alex Walker in the Spectrum. He goes up the inside, and he would have set that up coming through the left-hander of Leslie's, carrying a little bit more speed through Leslie's, straight towards the apex of turn 3 McIntyre's, and stop it. And Middlehurst has no answer, and already Alex Walker starting to stretch away at the front. This has obviously been a plan. Walker has been watching Middlehurst all the way through the race, and he's set the fastest lap on the last time round, a 54.005 for Alex Walker. So he definitely has the bit between his teeth now as Jordan Dempsey goes past his namesake Jordan Gronkowski at the hairpin. A good move for Dempsey, and Gronkowski settles in behind the number 31 Van Diemen up the main straight. Lots of encouragement again from the pit wall as they go under the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge one more time towards Duffy's Dip. The speed that these cars can carry through the corners is quite something special. It really is, to stand at the side of the track and watch the national runners and the Scottish Championship clan. It is great to see. Through we come. We've still got the battle, which is Jamie Sharp, and we've also got Thomas Mills, if I'm not mistaken, in there. And Thomas been very energetic all the way through this race, flirting with the gravel. There's Carter Williams coming through just now, and then Drew Stewart further back in the light blue car, which harks back to his Max Track days in Formula Ford, it does. Let's give ourselves a minute to get ready here as they go up over the crest of the hill. We keep watching for that last lap board from the top of the hill, but not this time. Alex Walker, though, has suddenly gone into full mission mode, and he really is putting the hammer down here, but Chris Middlehurst is not letting him get away as they come up to put another lap on Glen Alcock, halfway up the back straight. Middlehurst is regrouped, and he's dragged that Van Diemen by the scruff of the neck back up towards the back of the Spectrum, the Kevin Mills run Spectrum of Alex Walker. As they come through Clark's, there's Max Esterton, sideways again into the gravel trap. And you can see the effect that has on the car. The back wheel goes over the edge of the curb and drops into the gravel trap, and it almost lifts the front right wheel into the air. But look at this, they've had Glen Alcock at the hairpin, and right underneath the gearbox of Walker goes Middlehurst. Can Middlehurst repay the favour as we get towards the closing end of the race here, in towards Duffy's Dip? Middlehurst will know where Walker is strong. He's watched him in his mirrors the whole race. And he's also seen the manoeuvre which Walker pulled on him going in towards turn 3. Right under the gearbox they go down towards Butchers. Esterton goes through. Then we've got Mills, Sharp, Dempsey. The leaders are going through the chicane. It couldn't be closer at the front if they tried. As Glenn Alcock gets out of the way. Going through the chicane one more time. Glenn Alcock, car number 79. Jamie Sharp this time into the gravel trap again with his back wheel. And look, Walker now defends from Middlehurst. Middlehurst puts Walker a little bit shallow into the corner. That could give the Van Diemen the run through the corner, and it looks like it has. He goes left, he goes right, but there's no room at the end for him to get past. Walker goes onto the inside. On the outside of the circuit as they go past the pits is Chris Middlehurst. And Chris Middlehurst trying everything that he's got in his locker, throwing it all at young Alex Walker. At this point in the race, the spectators are on their feet as they come through McIntyre's, and look how close that Van Diemen is to the back of the Spectrum. He's almost in to the back left lower wishbone with the nose cone of that Van Diemen. This is brilliant driving from these two at the front. Middlehurst all over the back of Walker as they come through Clark Corner. It looks like there's one car there, but where will Middlehurst be able to do it? Because Walker knows that if he defends into the hairpin, it shall be enough to hold Middlehurst at bay. Once again, we look at the hairpin. Shallow entry and then a wide exit from Middlehurst as he gets the power on. He's accelerating. They're up towards the line. He's in the pit entrance. It's so close as they go towards the line over the crest of the hill one more time. Has Middlehurst just got himself in front? Yes, he has. What an extremely good move. Very brave move not to lift out of the throttle. Chris Middlehurst puts himself back into the lead of the BRSCC Avon Tyres National Formula Ford race here at Knockhill Racing Circuit, with the Scottish Formula Ford Championship mixed into this one. Great overtake there, brave as you like. Young Alex Walker trying to squeeze him towards the edge of the track, but he gave him just enough racing room and showed a good bit of respect for Chris Middlehurst there. That was sensational stuff. So it's now advantage Middlehurst. Can Walker regroup and come back at Middlehurst now? This is an epic, epic Formula Ford race. Into the hairpin they go. And it's now Max Esterton who can have a little bit of a watch and see what's happening up the road. But he's got to watch his mirrors, because homing in behind him, we have got Thomas Mills in car 21, 31 is Jordan Dempsey. Further down, and the safety car is out. So, safety car's out because car 49, is that? Yeah, I think that's 49. That's Megan Gilks down at Duffus Dip there, just sitting in the gravel trap. So, car obviously unable to move. Bit of a shame for that one. So the safety car comes out late in the race. Well, this is going to be good towards the end. Marshall's in attendance to that car. And, well, it's Middlehurst who holds it. And the red flag comes out, actually. The red flag, they're going to stop that race. They're going to take the result back by 1 lap. And that will give the amended result to car 41, Alex Walker, from car 87, Chris Middlehurst, and Max Esterton comes home in third place in car 42. So Middlehurst done everything right there, but on the count back, the race victory goes to Alex Walker, car 41 in his Spectrum. A sensational race here at Knockhill. Brilliant to see such close racing, but it's all about car 41, Alex Walker, just now.
Chris, great drive out there. Many congratulations. Just talk us through that one, because it was packed full of entertainment for us to watch.
Yeah, it was a great race. Started P2, got a really good start off the line and led the race for quite a way. And then Alex managed to get up the inside of me into turn 2, and just sort of followed him the rest of the race really. And then tried to sort of get a run down the sort of pit straight on him. He was defending, and then a few laps later, sort of made him sort of go quite tight at the hairpin. And then kind of got the run up the straight there, and just kept my foot in when he tried to move over and defend. I just kept flat out and passed him up to the line, and then the red flag came out on the lap after. So as far as I'm aware, I did get the win there, but I don't know it's like that at the moment. But the team reckon that across the timing line I was first on the second to last lap. So we'll see. But either way, it was a great race. Race tends to be driven by both of us. Kept it on the black stuff, and a great result for Team Dolan.
Absolutely great drive out there. Very well done today.
Thank you.
Maxwell, great drive out there. Just talk us through that one from your perspective, because the guys behind didn't make it easy for you.
Yeah, so had a rough qualifying starting 7th, and I know it's pretty tricky to pass here, so I was glad I got one spot off the start, and then just kind of stayed behind, just kind of running my own race, and just others kind of just drove off in front of me and made it easy, and I just kind of picked off one by one. Then yeah, in the middle of the race I was kind of alone, but I saw the guys behind, closing quite quickly, so I knew I'd kind of just to focus forward and try to latch onto the guys in front.
I notice you've got a lot of iRacing sponsorship on your overalls in your car. Knockill's not quite on the sim just yet, but how important and how valuable do you find the sim racing to be for your own driver development?
Yeah, this is one of the first tracks that I haven't, done a lot of laps of iRacing on, so it's a bit tricky to start, but, it's a short lap, so luckily, with 2 days of testing, you have plenty of laps. But yeah, it should be coming out, I think, in a few weeks, Knockill and iRacing, so it should be good fun to give it a go on there.
Yeah, and great drive out there. Well done today.
Thank you.
Race number 2 for the BRSCC Avon Tyres National Formula 4 Championship, and in this as well we have got the Scottish Formula 4 Championship, the runners in this one, and this is for the David Leslie Trophy. This is a big race in the world of Formula 4. Interested to see who will come out on top. Alex Walker is our pole man, and alongside him we see Chris Middlehurst. We then have Maxwell Esterton is a little bit of manoeuvring further down the grid. Glenn Alcock getting a little hand further back there. And a few people have missed their grid slots. It's very easy to do in a single-seater. You sit incredibly low. And the grid marshals will give a last couple of checks. We'll have a green flag at the back, and we should go racing straight away. There we go, green flag at the back. That's what we were waiting on. This one will be a cracker. Race number 1 was sensational. Middlehurst put it up with a huge amount of pressure, but towards the end Alex Walker was so strong. What will happen in race number 2? Watch for the lights coming on the Beatson's Building Supply Bridge as the revs will rise, and so will all the adrenaline in these cars. There goes the 30-second board, and when you're a driver, this is where your clutch leg starts trembling because you're already in gear and you're just starting to get a quiver in the top of your thigh. Here we go, lights starting to come on the bridge. We have got 4 lights, we've got a full complement of lights. A little bit of creeping at the back of the grid there, and down we go towards Duffy's Dip for the first time of asking. To get over the crest of the hill to see who holds the lead as they come in, and it looks like is that Middlehurst that we just saw flashing through the shot, but thankfully everybody away from the grid, nobody stalling, and yes, Chris Middlehurst leads the way for the first lap through the twisty 1, 2, 3, 4 turn 1, 2, 3, 4 area and Knockhill Racing Circuit here. And that's a good jump for him because he's managed to jump Alex Walker off the start, and he knows how fast Alex Walker will be as they go up towards Clark Corner. The leader's already in the exit of Clark's heading towards the hairpin, and we are at the hairpin. We will pick up. Will it still be the Van Diemen? Yes, it is the Van Diemen in the lead from the Kevin Mills Run Spectrum, but well, Walker already having a little look there as they come through the hairpin and make their way up the main straight towards the first lap. And the first time of asking, Jordan Dempsey very much in the mix of that as well. We wouldn't expect anything else. Underneath the bridge, Duffy's Dip. Not flat out, but it's very, very fast in one of these cars. Just a light brake, maybe down one gear, and then hopefully get through there. And the car basically floats all the way over the crest of the hill, down through the left-hander, and you've got to pull it up for McIntyre's, which is turn 3. Through they come. Neil Broom dive bombing past. Good manoeuvre from Neil Broom there. Passes Andrew Elliott in car number 12. Neil Broom in the Battleship Grey Ray. Can we say that? We just did, Neil, so you'll nod away with that one. But local man passes another local man. Into the hairpin they come though. The 3 at the front starting to pull away. Middlehurst, Walker and Esterton. Through they all come. Everybody bunches up behind them. Car 89 is Jamie Sharp. Jamie Sharp in a Medina Sport GL17, which is effectively a Van Diemen that's been rebadged. And the cars, well, the good thing about Formula 4 is, yes, it's still a multi-chassis category. It is obviously one engine, the Ford 1600 Kent engine, which has been around forever it would seem, but Van Diemen, Spectrum, Ray, all still out there. Unfortunately, no Swifts, which was always a good car, and Vector was a car, Megal was another manufacturer. Still around, but not in this championship. Nobody picking to run those cars. As we see them all streaming through. over the crest of the Neil Broom, putting, yeah, that's Gilks. He's coming up behind now. Megan, who was off in the first race. We lost Megan at Duffus Dip, and it was the cause of the red flag, if memory serves me correctly. But through the hairpin come the leaders, and up the main straight one more time they go. Long race this for the Formula Fords, and it's a good one because the David Leslie Trophy, it's always one that everybody wants to win, and it's so great that we can have the national runners up fighting with our local guys. And a big shout out to the local guys. They're very much gloves off, got the sleeves up, and they're very much in the middle of this as well. We've got Jordan Gronkowski and Michael Gray, both fighting very, very hard for this. We've talked about Neil Broom, Andrew Elliott, Lucy Grant and Glenn Alcock, very much out there and putting on a good show as well. Drew Stewart, the light blue car which you just see flashing through there. And we know Drew Stewart from many years ago racing Formula Ford Z-Tech for Max Track, which was Barry Horn and Max Horn. Those were the days. Yes, into the hairpin we come, and Middlehurst still putting up with increased pressure here. Comes from a racing family. Chris Middlehurst, his dad Andy Middlehurst, who is a very much renowned classic racer. Andy Middlehurst brought a beautiful Lotus up here to Knockhill a good few years ago, an H16 ex-Jim Clark spec Lotus. It was great to see. So Chris Middlehurst knows all about racing, comes from a good racing family, as Drew Stewart in towards Duffus Dip is coming under increasing pressure now. And the question is, can he hold on to that position he's in just now? Drew currently in 11th place. Oh, Esterton very sideways through there, and gravel starting to now get kicked up on the exit of that. Carter Williams involved in that as well, car number 55, and that's a Van Diemen. And Carter Williams, another very fast man, so we need to keep our eye on the 55 car and see if there's any progress to be made. But the three at the front still away. Then there's a 4, 5, 6 and 7 all glued together. Jamie Sharp, Jordan Dempsey very much in the mix in that, and Jordan Dempsey's been very aggressive from the word go here, as we wait to pick them up on the entrance towards Duffus Dip. Here they come, and they flash past, almost braking right at the end of the pit entrance here. Coming up to put a lap on, looks like it could be Glenn Alcock straight away, and Glenn will do the honourable thing and stay well out the leader's way, one would imagine, as they come up to the chicane. Oh, they're catching him at the wrong place. There's nothing Glenn could really do there apart from go through the chicane, and now all the leaders will find a way and stream past, but that's made it pretty difficult for Middlehurst just now. And Mikey Gray now very much logged onto the back of Drew Stewart. Drew under increasing pressure from our local charger Michael Gray in car number 19, and look at this as they come into the hairpin. Right underneath the gearbox of Middlehurst is Walker, and in turn Esserton right underneath the gearbox, the LD Hewland LD200 gearbox of Walker. And then Sharp has got Dempsey issues up the main straight, and there's also Thomas Mills involved in that as well. So any way you look in this race, you can see action. Sharp defends in towards Duffus in the red car, and round the outside, and oh, off he goes. That's Dempsey. I do believe that is Jordan Dempsey. Looks like he's maybe dropped a wheel off on the way in. Disappears into a cloud of dry gravel here. Shows you just how dry it's been at Knockhill actually for quite some time. And that is not in a good place. That's a deep pan gravel trap, so there's a fair chance that Jordan Dempsey will not be driving out from there. And I would believe that we might get a safety car for that. Let's see exactly what race control decide to do. The race continues just now, but that was Dempsey trying to get past Jamie Sharp. I didn't see any contact. It was a very far camera angle for us. But the last view we saw, they were going side by side in towards Duffus Dip, and it just looks like the car swapped ends on poor Jordan Dempsey. Over the crest of the hill they go in towards that area where the yellow flags will be very heavily waved, and they'll be accompanied with flashing yellow lights. Marshall's in the gravel trap, taking Jordan Dempsey away from that one, and let's see how long they leave that car sitting there. From Middlehurst still holds off Walker, holds off Esterton as they go down through Butchers and start to climb through the chicane. Then Jamie Sharp, well, he's got rid of one of them, and he's got another couple on him now. And oh, somebody's gone off at the exit of the chicane as well there, but we've picked up with a safety car. And now a little shot of the Marshals doing some sweeping at Clark Corner. Now, what did we miss at the exit of chicane? Again, we saw it from a very long camera angle, and we'll need to wait until we pick up the race restart, which is happening now. The safety car's gone. Middlehurst has done a good jump. Walker's up there. Esserton's there. It looks like Thomas Mills is there. So was that Sharp that we've lost? Yeah, Sharp much further down in the pack now. So the red car, 89 of Jamie Sharp, has had a bit of a happening, we think. The leaders though, nothing has changed with those guys. They come through just now. Carter Williams is well up in the fray now. And there is Jamie Sharp there. So he's just ahead of, is that Michael Gray? Difficult to see from that camera angle, and it'll be difficult now that the dust's been all kicked up. But yes, Jamie Sharp just ahead of car number 19, Michael Gray. Mikey, well, he'll try and tag on the back, and I think he'll try and get past as soon as he can. Jamie Sharp will be annoyed with that mistake he made at the chicane as the safety car flags and boards just come out. Jamie got it all wrong, unfortunately. Unlucky as the leaders make their way through there. Thomas Mills is now very much latched onto the back of this race at the front as well. So Max Esterton, the young American, has got his mirrors full of Thomas Mills in car 21. Side by side, Drew Stewart. Drew Stewart gets passed by Jamie Sharp. So this is a comeback drive for Jamie Sharp, but I've got to say he's given himself a mountain to climb. And whether he can do it, well, let's see where he gets to. First of all, the next car in Jamie Sharp's list is Jordan Gronkowski, the local champion, local Scottish champ, carrying the number 1 plate this weekend. Jordan, then very much in the mix with everybody as well. Deserved to be that far up the grid. As the cars have all gone through, we wait for Andrew Elliott to come through. There's Lucy Grant as well in car 66, the Black Ray, as the leader's already at the hairpin. Middlehurst has dealt so well with the pressure that has come his way from Alex Walker. Alex Walker and Max Esterton have been on the case of young Chris Middlehurst, and if Middlehurst puts one wheel wrong, these two will definitely have him. Into Duffy's Dip though, was that Thomas Sharp? No, it wasn't. It was further down that. I think that was Lucas Romanek in one of the other Spectrums. Getting pretty racy with, we'll have to come back on that one, Morgan Quinn, I'm going to say. Just now as they've gone through, we're shot, they're already over the top of the chicane, and I'm still trying to find names. Jamie Sharp though on the back of Jordan Gronkowski now. Michael Gray still bottled up behind Drew Stewart. Drew Stewart defending heavily that place from Michael Gray. Michael's been alongside on the straight a couple of times, but unable to complete the pass into Duffus. Through the hairpin come the front three, and they're just starting to put a little bit of a gap in between Esterton and Mills now. Thomas Mills just drifting off the back in this the David Leslie Trophy race at Knockhill as they come underneath the Beatson's Boring Supply Bridge for one more time in towards Duffus Dip. Then we've got the pursuing pack. Sharp has now got past Gronkowski, so that move's been done at the hairpin, and it's very much an attacking drive from Jamie Sharp now. He wasn't a fine, was he 4th place, 5th place earlier on? And unfortunately that's drifted away. Oh, Mills through the chicane, that snapped as he went over the crest of the hill, and he's put into the gravel trap. He'll get going from there, he'll probably rejoin half at the back straight, but that just snapped as he come over the crest of the chicane. And has he lost a position, or will he have kept that? One thing's for sure, he will have dropped a lot of time off the back of Esterton at the hairpin. Yes, he has. You can see the amount of time he's lost there, but he has still managed to hold his position, which is very, very lucky. That could have taken him further into the gravel and the grass up the back straight, but young Thomas Mills in car 21 lives to fight another day. Glenn Alcock in towards McIntyre's is about to get put another lap down by the charging trio at the front here of Middlehurst, Walker and Esterton, and they're not going to catch him in the middle of the chicane this time. Glenn will see them coming hopefully up the back straight and get out of the way for these guys coming through. That's better from Thomas Mills. Then Carter Williams goes through the chicane as well, very neat and tidy, and Michael Gray has managed to just wriggle away from Andre Laford, sorry, in his ray, so Michael can really put all his attention on Drew Stewart. Let's see what he can do towards the end of the race, but look at this as he comes through the hairpin. Just when you think that Middlehurst is safe and comfortable with a couple of tenths of a second, it all concertinas back up at the hairpin, and the spectrum in the ray of Walker and Esterton drop off a little bit on the straight, but they really charge through the back of the circuit, and they can hang on to the back of Chris Middlehurst. Fastest lap of the race, I hear you say. Who's got that just now? As we have a look at the timing sheet, it's Max Esterton with a 53.7. Now these guys were lapping the circuit in 52 seconds in qualifying, which in a Formula Ford 1600 is eye-wateringly fast. The temperature quite warm on race day, and the tyres will be past their best now, but still very, very impressive. Alex Walker it was that we saw in pole position after a great run in qualifying. But it's Chris Middlehurst who's controlling this race in the white Van Diemen. The LA10 as it's badged. Through the hairpin he comes. And that looks like his strongest part. Through and out the hairpin, that Van Diemen does have a good drive, and he just manages to creep ahead a couple of tenths of a second as Sharp now coming under pressure. Or was that Sharp making another pass? Jamie Sharp, the comeback drive, as I said earlier on, was very much on after going off at the chicane. He's now got himself back up into what I think is 6th or 7th place if we count, but it's difficult to count because they go through that quickly. Sideways over the chicane for the top 3. Then we get 4, 5, 6. So Sharp 7th place just now. 8th, 9th Gronkowski. So Morgan Quinn, Lucas Romanek still in the middle of that. Michael Gray still behind Drew Stewart. Drew Stewart making that the widest Van Diemen that we've seen in quite some time. Now look at this at the hairpin. Walker's decided it is time to waken up and have a go at Middlehurst. He tried to go around the outside, and well, Chris Middlehurst is never going to let anybody drive around the outside of him at the hairpin, that's for sure. As they come up the main straight across the line one more time to chalk off another lap. In towards Duffy's Dip they come, that iconically fast right hand over the crest of a hill, and Middlehurst now. Yeah, Middlehurst having to defend in quite a few places around the back of the circuit. Let's see if he can manage to hold that little gap he's got over Alex Walker, car 41 to the hairpin. Esserton still very much in there. Thomas Mills holding off Carter Williams. Jamie Sharp made me shiver and jump as he was coming through the chicane there. Looked like he was about to do what he's done earlier on, but thankfully not to be. Into the apron they come. Esserton now has a little look at Walker as he come in there, because there's enough of a gap for Middlehurst, and I'm very impressed with Middlehurst not defending, overly defending. Some drivers having another car that close to them would be tempted to start defending, and that's when the lap time ultimately starts falling apart. But Middlehurst is very confident in his car's ability to stop at the hairpin. Good setup on the brakes, get through the hairpin and pull away. And I've only seen him defend, once in the McIntyres and once or twice at that hairpin. And we've done a lot of laps now. So as they come through McIntyres, Jamie Sharp a little bit wide, where he should have been a bit more on line there, a little bit wide of the apex. But Jamie Sharp is really putting the hammer down here. The comeback drive is very much on, and Michael Gray still behind Drew Stewart. There's a bit of gravel at the chicane though. There's dust in the air. There's no cars sitting in the gravel that we can see from that camera view, thankfully. And the 3 leaders, more importantly, are now at the hairpin, so that's good. Somebody would have just been dropping a wheel off into the gravel again, and Esserton right underneath the gearbox of that Kevin Mills run Spectrum of Alex Walker. The Spectrum chassis, very, very nice trick, a little bit of kit. And Kevin Mills has ran them for quite some time now, if I'm not mistaken, all the way back into the Duratec days. Although Kevin, you can correct me if I'm wrong there. Through McIntyres comes Middlehurst, and line astern behind them, everybody else. Jamie Sharp's next target, well, if you can take that challenge, it's Carter Williams, the other young American. Can you get that with just a few laps remaining? Michael Gray goes through, still behind Drew Stewart, and he's still got Andre Lafond behind him, and Megan Gilks as well, very much involved in that. Megan, who we saw off at turn 1 in race number 1, brought out the red flag as Glenn Alcock again gets out the road going in towards the hairpin. And look at this, the leaders all fanning out as they come in towards and through the hairpin, and Middlehurst still soaks up this pressure. This is fabulous driving from Chris Middlehurst. Just Glenn Alcock a little bit slower up the main straight there, and stays very much out of the way. The top 3 are over Duffy's Dip. Then Thomas Mills comes through, equally as out of control as anybody else that we saw on screen. Behind him we then get Carter Williams, then Jamie Sharp comes through. Now Jamie Sharp isn't making any real inroads yet. Lucas Romanek and Morgan Quinn still in there ahead of Jordan Gronkowski. Then we've got the Gray battle, well, I'm going to say the Drew Stewart battle, because Drew Stewart right now hanging on for all he's worth to that position from the chasing 3 cars behind them as they make their way through the chicane and up the back straight. Neil Broom in a little bit of no man's land, but he'll be happy with how his race meeting's gone. A great turnout for the David Leslie Trophy race here, with the addition of the BRSCC National Formula Fords with Avon tyres. all these cars running on that Avon tyre, as they have been for quite a number of years. All the way back to, would that be 93 possibly? Anyway, through McIntyre's they come. Middlehurst, Walker, Esserton, Mills all on his own. And now Carter Williams is starting to get pulled back by Jamie Sharp. And if he drops wheels into the gravel like that, that will help Sharp's cause. Through the chicane they go. Sharp out towards the curb. Sorry, yeah, that was starting to look like he was heading for disaster there. But again, as some of the Northern Saloons and Sports head home in the background on the road there, they're not staying for this Formula 4 racing. I tell you they should do, because this is some cracking racing in the David Leslie Trophy race right at the end of the day, saving the best till last up the main straight again. Chris Middlehurst again at the hairpin. He manages to put a couple of tenths of a second into young Alex Walker and Max Esserton, and that really is his trump card. If he can do that, he will be safe. But you can never discount what Walker's going to do. He's so fast and he's so determined, dogged you might even say, as already starting to close that down. There's a wheel into the gravel, this time from Esserton. And you can't count out Thomas Mills either as he comes through the chicane. Now we're going to wait for Jamie Sharp. Carter Williams under huge pressure. Sharp has arrived and he's all over the back of that 55 car. The 89 red Jamie Sharp car, the Medina Sport John Lobel 17, badged Van Diemen, we can say that, is now all over the back of Carter Williams as the leaders come through the hairpin. It's behind this that we want to see. Jamie Sharp trying to go around the outside, but it's not to be. Now, has that made Carter Williams a little bit shy and shallow on the exit? Sharp is trying, he's so close to the back. Will he go left? Will he go right as they go over the crest of the hill? As we see Lucy Grant going through McIntyre's, need the camera to go to the left to pick the Sharp battle up as it comes into view. And there goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And it really is almost 1, 2, 3, 4. Thomas Mills just a little bit off the back. In fact, too far off the back. It must have been that camera angle. It's the next one we want to see. And still, Williams under pressure from Jamie Sharp. And yeah, Lucas Romanek very much involved in that as well. Carter Williams maybe going on the defensive a little bit too quickly, or just has really had to, because Jamie Sharp has come up to the back of him so fast. And that's bringing Lucas Romanek back in towards that battle as well. Thomas Mills is now effectively on his own in 4th place in no man's land. Sharp drops a wheel into the gravel. Will that make him lame up the main straight? Will he have to defend from Romanek going in towards Duffus Dip in the 23 Spectrum? As Glenn Alcock flies through our shot, we wait for the leaders to come through McIntyre's again. And here they come, down through Butchers, up towards the Black Circle chicane here at Knockhill. And Middlehurst has now got enough of a gap to be pretty comfortable in this race. It's looking good for him as Sharp still. The style of Jamie Sharp through the chicane there, aggressive to the end, putting everything on that back left tyre. As Lucy Grant puts Glenn Alcock a lap down, and the leader's about to put him another lap down. And this is going to work out perfectly for Middlehurst. He goes round the outside. Didn't actually get upset by Glenn Alcock, did Walker or Esserton, but that just works out perfectly for Middlehurst. Look at the gap he's got now as he goes past the last lap board. He'll get past Lucy Grant, hopefully in towards Duffus Dip, and that should make him pretty safe. He doesn't know. He can't get past Lucy Grant going in there. He'll try and do that in towards McIntyre. As he does that, he gets a lap car between him and Walker. Walker's more concerned about Esserton behind him as we go on to this, the last lap. It looks like Sharp has got past Carter Williams. Yes, he has. And we missed that one on camera as well as they go flying through the chicane. Jamie Sharp, the comeback is complete. That puts him into 5th place after being quite far down after the restart from the safety car. But in towards the hairpin will be the white car of Chris Middlehurst, and he has controlled this race from the very beginning. He got the jump at the start. He comes through the hairpin. Walker manages to hold off Esserton's attack at the hairpin, but up towards the checker flag. Chris Middlehurst takes the checker flag and he wins the David Leslie Trophy race here at Knockhill in the BRSCC National Formula Ford and the Scottish Formula Ford Championship at Knockhill with the SMRC. Some cracking racing, and Chris Middlehurst owned that race from start to finish, managing to cope with all the pressure from Alex Walker and Max Esserton. The Van Diemen driver will be taking home the David Leslie Trophy, and he will be extremely happy with that one. So Middlehurst, Walker and Esserton the top 3. Thomas Mills in 4th place. Jamie Sharp completes the comeback to 5th, with Carter Williams, Lucas Romanek, Morgan Quinn, John Gronkowski and Michael Gray comes home in 10th.
Chris, many congratulations. You are the David Leslie Trophy winner. How does that feel?
Absolutely amazing, yeah. My father Andy was teammates with David in Goodwood in the past at Goodwood Revival, so very special to receive it, and what a race as well. Got a really good start, got past Walker and just sort of got my head down really and just tried to put some good times in and try not to defend, of course, because it's, you know, a few times obviously got close, but I was trying to maximise every exit, you know, after I defended, and just pulled away at the end there, a few back markers to contend with, but absolutely delighted, over the moon. So thanks to Team Dolan for giving me a great car, Bernard, Luke, everyone, so big thanks to them.
Absolutely well deserved. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Alex, congratulations. Another great scrap between you and Chris, and a really good weekend overall for you.
Yeah, overall it's been a good weekend. You know, a first and a second isn't too shabby. But yeah, obviously Chris drove immaculately, didn't make any mistakes, and as tough as it is to get past here, so I'm not really too disappointed. I would have liked to win, but I'm going to take the points, so yeah.
No, you did very well out there. Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
Maxwell, many congratulations. 2 third-place finishes and I believe a new lap record as well.
Yeah, it's a really good race. Just got a good start. Just try to stay in line with the front two, you know, pull away from the second pack, because I think if we fought at the start, it would have been kind of a real mess. 7-car scrap. So yeah, we worked together, got away, good gap. Then the safety car came out, unfortunately, and we did it again, luckily. And I just didn't quite have the straight line speed to get close going into the hairpin, so couldn't kind of too far back to launch a move. But the car was really good, handled really well. Just like throughout the whole race, it was on rails.
So what's next for you then? What have you got planned?
I think we're off to the National at Silverstone in 2 weeks, so see what happens there.
Yes, and fingers crossed, best of luck. Well done today.
Thank you.
Jordan, great start to your season. You must be absolutely delighted with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult weekend with the national guys here. The pace that some of these guys are on is unbelievable. So we can't really compete with that. So it really just keeping the focus on the Scottish Championship, obviously playing the long game. So at that point, obviously, I think I qualified a couple of places in front of Michael. So it was just stay out of trouble, first of all, because, I mean, you know, you see on the footage there that there was quite a lot of incidents, which I, lucky enough, managed to avoid. And then, just make sure I had a nice, comfortable race and take it home. So we did that. So, I mean, it's a shame because we're kind of used in Scotland to being at the front, so it's a shame not to be at the front, but then given the competition and given everything else, I mean, once it sinks in that we won the first round of the Scottish Championship, I'll be happier maybe.
Absolutely great drive out there. Well done today.
Thank you. Cheers.